Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. I'm Beth, and in this video I'm going to show you me building my dream house in The Sims. I decided that this year I wanted to create a vision board, which is the first time I've ever done that. And if you know what a vision board is, it's you manifesting the things in your life that you want to happen or the way you want your life to be. Well, all I needed was my dream house, and instead of just using what I found on Pinterest that I liked, I decided that I was going to build it in Sims. That way I can make it exactly how I want it. Well, as much as Sims allows you to make it how you want it. And I'm playing in Brindleton Bay because my dream house is a beach house, but it's not like the tropical beach. It's more like the small town, peaceful beach. And that's just seems to be more of a Brindleton Bay area. Also, I really wish that they would fix it to where you could play in the water in Brindleton Bay. I chose the lot with the lighthouse because I just found the view so beautiful, and I am sorry if I have to cut out some of this and there's bits and pieces that either don't match up where the video is, or that there's parts where I'm really silent because I don't know how to talk the whole time, but I will do my best. As you can see, I was working on my little book nook, and I have this screened in porch on the front, which I use the island living windows to try to represent a screened-in porch because you don't really have that in Sims. And I also had this sunroom, but I decided eventually, instead of using this furniture, I turned it into the dog's room, which is, as you can see at the moment, next to the kitchen. But moving on to the kitchen, I really like a 70s themed kitchen, and that's the style I was going for. I do eventually change this tile with the pink on the floor to a wood floor, and I change it to all white tile, I believe, when it comes to the wallpaper. But 70s theme was what I was going for because I really want a 70s red themed kitchen. The only thing I don't really like about this kitchen after I'm finished with it is the sink. I want it to be in front of the window because I live in a house where my sink has this big window and I can look out and see rabbits and groundhogs and birds and sometimes even a snake, little natural animal creatures, and a pretty view. So I wanted my sink to have a window because I don't like doing dishes. If I have to do dishes, I want to be able to have a good view so that my mind isn't fully on the dishes. I do end up putting, yes, there is a dishwasher in this kitchen, but I don't know, it just kind of seems inconvenient to have to walk all the way from the stove or the microwave or fridge or whatever across the kitchen to go to the sink, but I guess the dishwasher kind of helps with that. I wanted the sink to be near the coffee pot and the teapot, the things that you need water for. So I made this little coffee bar, and it has the Instapot as well, or pressure cooker, I guess, is what they call it in this, not name brand. But I wanted the coffee bar, and that's just the best way I could figure out. I did end up spending a lot of time on this kitchen, and I had to cut some of it out because I just spent so long. I spent a few days trying to figure it out, and I did what I could do. But the video, if you didn't notice, actually starts after I've completed the shell itself of the house and some of the decorating. The reason for that is because when I was building the shell and recording that part, the video turned out to be very glitchy, very horribly glitchy, because I'm new at this. So I couldn't figure out how to fix that. I didn't feel like going back and trying to redo the whole thing. It just took me so long to do that much. I was not about to do that again. So sadly, we're going to have to just jump into this point. That screen-in porch at the front, if you didn't notice, it was divided in two. I do eventually end up changing that because I wanted it to be a screen-in porch for me. I enjoy living in the beachy area or being in the beachy area and being able to enjoy my coffee or a meal or read a book on the screen-in porch and enjoy the salty sea air. For me, that was my thing. But I also wanted my cat to have a catio area, but it seemed a little too small when I had that wall dividing it up. So I ended up just taking that wall out and making it one big shared space. I also ended up putting a bubble blower out there instead of a regular table, which I had planned because if you're that kind of person, it's nice to be able to go out on this relaxing screen-in porch, enjoy the view, and blow bubbles. I do eventually end up putting the old phone from the rewards that we got from the 25th anniversary in the kitchen as well, next to the flowers, the sunflowers right there. But I decided that I do like the kitchen. It is a nice kitchen, but I feel like I could do it better. And eventually I might try to rearrange it to do better. But I was trying to figure out how to make that little section of the bar where that step is look not as weird. Eventually, I do put a half wall there and a fireplace because I did want a fireplace. But if you look at the outside, the chimney is not where the fireplace is, and it's just going to be left that way. It's fine. I really like the little boho kind of look with the beach look, and I never really was a person that liked pink that much, but I found that I really enjoy the blues and greens with the pinks of those beachy colors together. It just makes me think of a beach. It's the kind of houses that I see at my favorite beach location. They tend to be colorful like that. So I end up putting some pink in there, even though I'm not much of a pink person, just because it looks really nice. It's beachy. It makes me feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. And also, you see, this is a big porch. I really enjoy my big porch. I wanted a wraparound type porch where I could just, if you're at the beach and the weather's nice, most of the time, at least most of the time want to be outside. So I had to have my porch. And then I realized this is a dream house, but I feel like eventually it would have to be, to start off with, I would have to build a smaller house, be more realistic. But this is what I ended up with. And it's good. I actually love it, but I feel like it should be more in the future. I did end up going back and with the same colors and kind of style, I did build a tiny house. But when I went to test the Murphy bed, the sim that I was testing with got killed by it, which happens. Sadly, I didn't record that either, but that would have been funny. So I really need to start just recording it all for when things like that happen. I do end up turning this little sunroom into my gaming, streaming office type area. And I do change the glass roof. As much as I wanted a glass roof that was like a complete sun greenhouse type room, I really wanted that. But I really needed an office gaming area. And so I didn't really think that a sun coming down while you're trying to use computers would be that great. So I ended up just changing it to this regular roofing that's on the rest of the house. And I moved out some windows as well so that, I still have plenty of windows, but it's not as much. Like I said, if I go silent for a while, it's because I'm not quite sure what to say, but I hope you all still enjoy the build. I am not a very social person, and I struggle to find what I want to say sometimes, but I wanted to try to give this a try, record my builds, and you see this little underwater ocean themed bathroom that I have going on. I don't have all of the packs, so I don't have the shower that's, I want to say one comes in the university pack where you can build your own walk-in showers, but my dream is to have a walk-in shower, so I had to kind of deal with just the island living shower and pretend. But I really wanted my under the water ocean themed bathroom, and that's as good as I could get it. And I think it turned out quite well for what I had. Like I said, as much as I would love to have all of the packs, I can't afford that. I'm not that wealthy, so I have to wait until they're on sale before I can purchase them, which is fine. I think everybody should do that, actually. Just wait till they're on sale, but it would be nice if I could have more. Oh, and I just realized while I was doing this that I was like, oh, there's a burglar alarm, and it's not in just the decorations. It's in the actual like fire alarms and sprinkler system and things like that. I wonder if we actually have burglars. Well, it turns out it's a good thing that I got that burglar alarm, because yes, we now have burglars, and one showed up not too long after I placed that there and tried to rob my dream house. Oh, and this is my little she shack. I was thinking at first, a little she shack for when my fiance gets on my nerves. I can just go there and stay in my little she shack and be at peace, and everything would be fine. And then I realized I only have this one tiny room that looks like a closet for a child. And then I was thinking, well, I guess when it becomes a teenager, if we have more than one, we could just toss the teenager out there in their own little mini house in the yard. And my brother made a good point and said, that's how you become a grandmother. So I don't know how that would work, but maybe I do end up actually putting the son that I have with my fiance in The Sims, because I started playing, off topic a little bit, I started playing in the house because, sometimes you build a house in The Sims and you're like, oh, this is great. But then you put a sim in it and you start playing and you think of something that, oh, I need this, or this would be nice. I want this. So I'd like to test out my builds and continue building in between to make sure everything's just kind of the way I want it. But you'll see eventually there's going to be a little blue alien baby in the little kids' room. And it's because when I moved the Sims of me and my fiance into this house, I was testing everything out, and there's a telescope on that little tower at the back. And I had my fiance test the telescope, and then he got abducted. And he came back pregnant. Isn't that nice? Isn't that romantic? Isn't it a dream come true? And I thought about sending it back to its home planet. Her name is Angelica. I let my actual fiance in real life choose the name of his alien daughter that he came back with. So he decided Angelica. And so Angelica is still my responsibility. Well, his responsibility. My sim doesn't really have too much to do with her unless he's at work. But she's actually a very good baby. She's calm and self-soothing. So she turned out to be a good one. So I didn't send her back to her home planet. But I ended up having a son with him. And I had to shove him in the closet, my walk-in closet, off of my bedroom. Because that Angelica's room was just so tiny. There's no way two babies could fit in there. It's I could hardly fit her. I end up actually having to put the diaper changing table in the hallway because her room is just so small. And I also, there's a problem when I am building for multiple days and I go back. Some of the things, I think it's a move objects problem. Like, you have to put move objects in every time you play the game. And I'm not sure if that's right or not, but if I turn off the game and say the next day I start back to building, I'll notice that there's a few things that are in my inventory instead of where they're supposed to be. And I think it's just because of the move objects thing, but I kind of got irritated having to move counters to be able to place everything exactly where I wanted it. So eventually I just let it snap into place where it naturally would. But the point of this was I was going to make screenshots and print them out and put them on my vision board of this house. I haven't done that yet. I took the screenshots actually. I just haven't had the energy to print them out and stick them up on my vision board. Oh, there's my bubble blower. Does anybody else get extremely annoyed with the Roombas in Sims? Even if you try to update them, I feel like they just constantly break and they're kind of more of a pain than they're worth. But in real life, I like my Roomba. It's not a pain like the ones in the Sims. They need a better quality Roomba, clearly. And I'm just changing around the lighting colors and the intensity because it really does help set the mood for the house. I end up making my little office area gaming room. I put the lights as purple aside from the little star lights, which I think I put as yellow. But I like to do that because it really does set a mood for your builds. The only reason I put the regular white light in this, or yellow light, gold light, whatever it is, in this underwater themed bathroom is because I really couldn't see. I liked that it was not purple, that's the office. I liked that it was blue with the other lights, but I really couldn't see. And, it's kind of nice to be able to see when you're taking a shower or, looking in the mirror. I really do need to figure out. I don't know. I tried to make things a little bit bigger, but it kind of looked funny on the outside. Like if you look at the back of the outside when it comes to the kitchen, I wanted a bathroom and I wanted a laundry room, but it kind of does look weird from the back. And it looks like it was just a build on from the original house, which is fine. That you can say that's exactly what it is, a build on. That's what I wanted. I like the inside, but I think it looks strange from the outside on that one part that just comes out a little bit further, but that's life. That's the way it is. You want a bathroom and a laundry room off of your kitchen. That's the way it has to be, apparently. And when it comes to the porch, if you haven't noticed, there's a hot tub on there. I wasn't quite sure what to put there, but I felt like I needed more. So that's why there's a hot tub. Obviously, I would never say no to a hot tub, but I feel like I don't spend that much time in hot tubs. Like when we had an Airbnb on one of our vacations that had a hot tub, I did spend some time in it, but then I kind of got out after just a few minutes. I also feel like they would require more maintenance, and I'm the type of person, I want my life to be easy. I don't want more work and more struggle and more to worry about. And I just feel like that kind of thing and a pool is just more maintenance, more work, more stress that just really isn't necessary, especially if you live on a beach. You just go to the ocean if the weather's nice. I prefer natural water like rivers, lakes, creeks, and obviously the ocean is my favorite, the beach. So I would much rather do that than be in a pool or a human type water area. I prefer the natural water so much more. Also, chlorine makes my hair feel awful. Absolutely awful. I cannot stand it. Like I said, the little blue Angelica, not exactly a dream of most people, I would assume, for their fiance to get abducted and come back pregnant. But that's how it ended up. And she turned out to be a good baby. Sometimes life happens. It is what it is. I love this little moon cycle rug that's in my little book nook area here, because I have a book nook area in my bedroom as well, but I really like this little moon cycle. I think it came with paranormal, the whatever the paranormal pack is. My brother actually bought me that one, so shout out to him. It was the first time of actually looking into what items came with it and anything like that. I don't think I've actually used any of the gameplay. If I have, I can't recall, but I do mostly building anyway. So I really like that rug though. I think it fits well. And I'm not quite sure where those curtains from. They might be a paranormal thing too. I don't recall, but the little curtains with the fringes, I love those as well. That was in one of the packs that I hadn't used until I started building this as well. And he bought me a couple others, so it may have been that. When it comes to this little tower, I kind of wanted it to be like a lighthouse. So I did originally put the spotlight type thing that came with Get Famous, but then they got mad at how much energy I was using and was charging me a fine for it. And I thought maybe that was possibly the reason. And also when you looked outside, you couldn't really tell. It didn't show anything. So I think it was just showing on the roof. It didn't even look lit up to me. So I end up putting this cauldron in there. And I'm like, maybe that could be my little spell casting area. I really also love these little flower garden lights. They are so cute. But you can see I'm trying to figure out the landscaping here. There's my pink fence with my blue fence, or my pink gate with my blue fence. But I was trying to figure out this landscaping on this side. I just felt like it was a little bit empty. I ended up putting that little wagon thing, and then I put some flowers under it. But I really wanted to try to put a curved fence. That clearly was not working out. So I just gave up on that. And there's probably a little hack to get that to work, but I'm also the type, sometimes I will put the effort. It's like those basement hacks. You build a basement and you lift an object up to make this awesome thing. And some people are absolutely fantastic. I mean, absolutely amazing when it comes to that. Me personally, most of the time, I do not have the patience to try to do that perfectly. And I've noticed it has to be nearly perfect for it to actually be functional. Most of the time, I really want my builds to be functional. There's some times when I'll let it go, but not often. Even when it comes to, say, a challenge, like you can only use this pack or this color or this design, whatever. When it comes to those challenges, even then, I'm more likely to say, okay, but if it's a kitchen and we don't have it in that color or pack or whatever, you're still going to need a stove. You're still going to need the basics in a kitchen. So I would be more likely to be like, okay, this color or whatever, but if not, we'll use white or black or some neutral color because I want my houses to be functional. It's kind of pointless in my opinion, unless you are just building the house to, I guess, check, like in real life, I made my actual house on Sims and was trying to look at some renovations of what I would want to do. Obviously, I want it to look nice. So in that case, I guess it doesn't really matter too much if it's playable or not. You're just trying to figure out a design in real life. But when it comes to a house in The Sims, I do my best to try to make it as functional as possible. But I really love my she shack here. You'll also see in the garden on the other side, I have catnip in that little alley type area, but you'll see that I also, off topic again, I'm not very confident in my my terrain tools. I'm still working on trying to get those right. There are some people, I love how they can do it, especially when it comes to the lowering and raising of things. I struggle with that so much. I'm not confident with it, but I do try to practice it so that I can get better, and hopefully I will. But as I was saying, this little garden area, because I want a little garden area, I have this phone booth from what it's called, but I am a Doctor Who fan, so that's my TARDIS. If I had my way, I would 100% have a TARDIS in my yard or in my house if I had the room. I love my TARDIS. It kind of looks a little bit off, but that is something I would have in my real life. Does anybody else get aggravated when they're trying to build a fence around the house, but your house is on a platform and the fence has to have a platform too for some reason, so it looks a little weird? That irritates me. So I don't like when you try to attach it to the house like it normally would be in real life. It raises up on this huge platform. I don't like that. Why can't we just have a normal fence attached to the house? So I tried to fix that by adding those little shrubs instead of making the fence touch the house. I just put those little shrubs there to try to fence it in and make it look like it was fenced in more. And also the bikes. The beach area that I love in real life has biking trails, and it's actually a small place. You could probably bike anywhere and it would be just fine. So I added bikes into this. And I haven't even been on a bike since I was a child. I hope they're right and they say you never forget how to ride a bike, because that would be bad. It's one of those things I wish I could do more of, but I don't own a bike. I also, here's where I'm doing the whole trying to do the screenshot thing and make it look nice. When you get to the kitchen, I have no idea what happened, but the roof is gone. Not the roof, the ceiling is gone. So you can see outside of the kitchen, and I tried to mess around with the roofing. When I figured that out, it did not work. And I feel like it's one of those things where I'm going to have to rebuild the whole room just to get the ceiling to come back. And I was just not, after spending days doing this, I was not willing to mess that up by trying to do that. So I think that's what it is. I really don't know. Just pretend there's a roof. So here's my little living room area. Nothing big, nothing too special. I've got my little basket of pillows and comforts. I put those curtains on the sliding door as well. And to the right is my little doggy room. And there's my little book nook. I love my little book nook. And an aquarium. I don't have an aquarium in my life right now, but I love looking at an aquarium. It's so relaxing and I fall asleep to it. I really should get one. To be fair, in real life, I probably wouldn't have big pictures of eggs and pancakes in my kitchen, but I felt like that matched fairly well. And there's some rooms that you'll see I didn't put too much art at all. It's because I would rather put pictures of people or my own artwork up. And my jukebox, I actually have a jukebox in my kitchen in real life. It's actually sitting on my kitchen counter because it's smaller than the one that's in The Sims. But actually not by much, just some. A little bit smaller, but it's a Bluetooth. You can add it to your phone and it'll play music through that. And I absolutely love my Bluetooth jukebox. So I added it to my 50s themed kitchen. And when it comes to my little bathroom, I have two types of bathrooms. This is the downstairs one. This one is the purple bathroom. I like the purple bathroom because it actually makes me think of my childhood. My mama that raised me was moving into an old house that my papa had built, and she asked me when I was a child what color they should paint the bathroom, and I chose a light purple. So for some reason now I just really like purple bathrooms. Here's my little office gaming room. I love the view of the windows. I feel like in real life, I would probably need curtains, though, because if the sun's shining a certain way, it's going to show up on my screens. Maybe, I guess it depends on the location, but it seems to work out here. It's Sims. I actually intended on the house not being this big. I kind of wanted it smaller, but it somehow just turned out to be this big because I felt like even now, it's the kids' room is so tiny. As you can see, I had to put the changing table in the hallway, upstairs hallway. And I just feel like the room should have been bigger, or there should have been another room. But I couldn't really figure out the floor plan that well. I had trouble with it when it came to the upstairs. Yes, there is water on the floor of the shared bathroom or the kids' bathroom, whatever, because that sink broke and I hadn't cleaned it up. Yes, there's a bowl of cereal on the little banister area as well. It happens. But here's my oceany themed bedroom. I tried to make it oceany themed. And I have a little book nook and my little writing area. I've got that cute little alarm clock that also came with the rewards for the nostalgic 25-year anniversary of Sims. And there's the baby in my walk-in closet because I had nowhere else to put him. And Daisy, the dog. I actually, instead of just creating the animals that I have in my real life in Sims, I'm finding ones that are strays in The Sims. Most of mine were strays as well in real life, but I'm finding the ones that look and act as close as possible to my actual dogs, and I will adopt them in The Sims. Because, strays need love too. When it comes to this walk-in shower, I feel like I can do better. I like the way it is. I like the greenery around it, but with the packs I have, I feel like if I had the pack for the others, it could probably be better. But I also feel like I may have made it too long. But when it comes to the looks, the window, I probably would want to be regular glass and not the blue, kind of like the door is there. But that's how I had to do it. Yes, I know it looks weird. I don't have the just regular shower that comes with. I know one of them, I believe, is from university. I can't remember what the other one is from. And I think I remember watching a YouTube video and they said that Love Struck came with one, but I don't have Love Struck either. So I feel like that should be a base game thing. Can we make that a base game thing, please? So we can, like, it doesn't even have to be a great shower. Just something to where you can make your own built-in showers. And I've got a little barbecue and my gaming table out here. Not that I really have too many friends to play games with, but my fiance has plenty of friends. He makes friends with everybody, and I'm the more quiet type. It tends to work out because I'm the quiet one. I don't really feel like talking that much. I don't have much to talk about. So he kind of does the talking for both of us. So he has quite a few friends, I guess he could play with while I stay in my she shack. When it comes to this swing, I like that swing. I would actually have fun with that swing. I still like to go to the park and swing on swings like this, but I think that they should start putting like porch swings and the double-seated swings that, normal adults use in The Sims. I feel like they need to put those in at some point. But personally, I would still use this children's swing as well because I still have fun with that at my 30 years of age. And I also use the inflatable sofa in this. I only have an oven in here, a coffee pot, and a microwave. I feel like it's a little she shack, or maybe an older child is staying there, or you can rent it out as, I don't know, the type of Airbnb type thing, I guess. But I just needed my little she shack. I thought it was cute. And the drone ended up dying. The batteries died in there next to the bed. I put my gardening tools, that little basket of gardening tools, in the TARDIS and birdhouses because I like the birdies. Oh, normally I try to put the little rabbit stump and I think it's a tree, the little bird tree. I think it came with Cottage Living. Those did, but I normally try to put those. I didn't in this one though. I forgot because I like bunny rabbits and birds and nature and animals. Here I am just touring around, round 2, just trying to get better pictures to add to my vision board. I really need the motivation to do that. I haven't been in a very motivated mood. Like, I started out, yes, this is awesome. Let's do this. It's amazing. And then something happened and my motivation for everything, it seems, just plummeted. But I'm working on it. I'm getting there. At this point, I really just need to add ink to my printer. And I was trying to fix the kitchen window, or the ceiling, not the window, but that didn't end up working. I might end up fixing it, I might not. But this should be about the end of the video, so thank you for listening and watching. Bye-bye.